to try and trim the side panels today. I already went through and marked them with a Sharpie, but I'm also going to go through, because I can't tell if it's marking it from the angle it's at, and use an awl and scratch it, or pick, whichever you want to call it. So that'll be what we'll do today. We gotta take it all off, and after we scrape it, I'm not sure if I want to do the bottom. I did mark it out, what I think it should do. I'm going to cut the top piece, and then we'll see how it looks. So, time to get to work. Took out my sanding disc, put on a little grinding wheel, kind of nice thing here. Lowe's, they sell like a multi-kit for the same price you buy 2 grinding discs. It comes with 2 grinding discs, 2 cutoff wheels, a grinding disc, and a flapper wheel. Like $9. So if you're ever going to Lowe's looking for just like a flapper wheel, which is like $5 in itself, just buy the whole kit. The wheel is a little rough though. I think it was like I think it's like 40 or 36 grit. 40. Last time I bought this is 60. So yeah, that may be a consideration. But anyways, let's get to work. Probably doesn't show up, but there's a thunderstorm. Hopefully we don't get Floridaed on. So, best thing I could do was scratch it. With the awl, made a better line than the marker did. It sees a marker in some of the areas though. So I may straddle both of them. We'll get to work on it. Alright, so got them cut. As you can see, it's taller here than it is down here. Actually follows the tube now. It's not exactly where I want it. I still got to trim some of it, and the grinding wheels did not do as good a job as I thought they would do. I really thought they would do a better cut, especially on this side. I don't think you can see down there, but it's got some waves in it. That may be operator error too. But next thing was, I was surprised of how the aluminum chewed up the grinding wheel. I thought it would last a little longer. This is the first wheel. No, right here, this first wheel. These were 4.5 inches, and it's down to 2. There's 3. It's down to 3 on that one. And then the second one really tore it up. I don't know what. Maybe that panel's harder. That's about 2.5 inches, and these were 4.5 wheels. So you can see that's lost a little bit on that one. But this one, man. It got to the point where you couldn't get the grinder to cut because of the diameter, the size of the grinder itself was hitting. So, cutting aluminum, there's better ways. The jigsaw did better. That's all I'll say there. I still got to go through and grind it all down and make it form around the panel. I want it to be kind of in the center of the plane. I want it to be like this, where the tube is half the diameter of the tube is sticking up and the panel's set flush with it on the side. That way when you go to get in, you'll hit the tube first and slide over and not rip your pants or cut your skin or anything like that. So I still got to do like a final grinding and stuff and mark it again. And what I'll do is I'll wait for that when I flip the buggy back over. And in order to flip the buggy over, we got to get our hardware. I thought it was coming from China, but it's apparently the hardware for the floor, the nuts, is coming from Scotland. I went back and looked on Amazon where I bought it from to see where it was. And they don't ship a tracking number unless you buy the extra cost shipping. Then they will ship you a tracking number, apparently, is what I read on their website. So, for that company. So anyways, I'm still waiting for that. That's supposed to be here next week. And once we get that on there, we can flip the buggy over, mount the seats, grind the side panels better to fit. I'd like to mount the panels up with the screws. They should be here next week because they have like a special flange. And I'll probably take these nuts and weld on the tabs when the body panels are all aligned and where I want them. That way you just zing in the screw and not have to hold a nut on the back side, because it's kind of a pain in the butt to do that. You know, if we ever took a panel off, I want it to be able to just stay on there. So that's what's going on there. What I need to do is come over here and finish John's head. I may do that later. Get this thing put back together. I have all the pieces for it. The only thing I don't have, it just needs to be cleaned up mostly. What I don't have though is I need some valve grinding compound. So I may swing by John's house tomorrow and get that, because I think he'll be home. And then I can lap the valves and put all the springs and everything back in there and get that back to him. Then we need to work on this. Ben and John have been kind of pestering me to get this on the road. It runs and drives. It's just before we put it in the Baja, we were searching for 10 pounds of boost, and I filed the needle a little too much, and so it's super rich everywhere, including where it drives, and that's getting it like 10 miles to the gallon. So if I try and drive this thing to South Carolina, I got to fix that, because that's just ridiculous. And 800 miles at 10 miles to the gallon, we're going to be using what, 80 gallons or something like that of gas, and gas is expensive now again, or getting there. So I need to file another needle, which means I need to get a wideband. Ben has one, he has a gauge, and he has an O2 sensor. Just the gauge has got to get wired up, and the O2 sensor I'd have to take off his car, and you know, just it's extra work. So been wanting to play with the fun stuff right now. So we'll get on that, and that will finish that thing up, and we can take this to South Carolina. But that's about it for right now, boys and girls. A little bit of progress. It's slow, you know. That's just when you do a project, though. That's what it is. It's slow, but it's progress. So don't worry. We'll have more of this. Get out there and work on your cars, and I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe.